Just want to take a little time to reflect on my life and all my blessings, along with the trials and tribulations. I'm not really going to get into the whole spill of it, but for now, for today, super grateful. Hanging out in Oklahoma right now. Just came through Texas, heading to Colorado. Places I've never been before, places I've never seen before. You know? Just reflecting on the blessings, man. You know? Being able to see this, being able to see these states, and you know, I just got into traveling with my wife. I gotta definitely credit my wife. Yeah, let y'all see the humongousness in this load. This is the tallest load I ever had. Pretty big. Yeah, but it's nice and peaceful out here. You know, been to other places with more mountains, but just kind of like to see these mountains alone. Coming from the Bronx, yo, it's pretty amazing to me, man. You know, pretty dope. Yeah, I just briefly wanted to count my blessings and, you know, just know that I'm grateful for everything that's come in my past. You know, or should I say come through my path in my life. You know, I had a productive life in construction. You know, rocking with 6A. Retired, healthy, young. You know, 57 is young. Guys are still, you know, still going. And they up there in their 60s, going in their 70s. Don't want to let it go, but that's them. You know, made a decision after some unfortunate events, and I just say, you know what? I got my 25 years, and why not? And then, honestly, I didn't even know what I was gonna do. This wasn't the plan. This was not the plan. I gotta credit my wife again. She, you know, she knows that I have certificates in safety, and I can also be a teacher. I have OSHA certification, which I love those things. You know, I love teaching, but the safety part of it, it was just like, you know, you leave in one aspect of construction, then you go into another aspect of construction. I just wanted to do something different. So she started listing, you know, naming some things, and she said trucking. She said trucking. Trucking? What? I thought it was, I ain't gonna lie, Smokey and the Bandit. You know, when they was on their CBs and everybody was kind of holding each other down in the trucking world. You know, I was a kid. Smokey and the Bandit was like in the 70s, so I used to love that. You know, my man. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember his name in the movie, but Smokey and the Bandit was definitely a movie that made me want to kind of like, you know, made me kind of like want to be in trucking, but my route didn't go that way. But now I'm here, and I just want y'all to listen. All right, just listen right quick. No cars coming by. All right, cars are coming, so. But yeah, coming from the Bronx, New York, city that never sleeps, you know, it's kind of cool to have a little peace, come around some peace that, you know, you don't really get out there. It's just always moving out there. See, this is Indian land. And the crazy thing, my father used to look at cowboy movies, cowboys and Indians, and I want to be with Dad, so I'm looking at the movies too. Man, Dad, if you could see me now, knowing that the Indians roam these plains, it's pretty cool, man. Super cool. So, just appreciating that, you know what I mean? I guess, like being, my family's from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. My mother used to take me out there, so, I have some quiet time out there, so it's pretty cool. When you was young, the Greyhound bus, we wasn't big on planes. I think I've been on a plane one time. I was tiny though. I do not remember. But being on planes, I can't remember. Now I fly frequently. My wife, boy, she got it in my blood right now to travel. And so I just said, why not? The trucking, she brought it up. And I said, yo, we travel, we've been to different countries and stuff like that. Why not go do a job that involves traveling? She brought up trucking, and this particular company, Milton, they go to all 48 states. It's 50 states, but 2 of them I believe we can't go in. Hawaii is one. I forgot the other one. I think it's Alaska. I'm not sure. But I already been to like maybe 17 states. I'm heading to my 18th now. Colorado, yo, super amazing. And to be in this quiet, in this peace. You hear that? You hear that? Yeah. I'm listening. All you hear is the sound of the road, trucks coming by, cars coming by, trucks coming by. And you know what's cool too? Super cool about trucking right now. I'm gonna be honest, man. Like I built buildings that they're gonna be around for 2, 3, maybe 400 years in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, even in Germany. I've done buildings that is, they're gonna be landmarks when the cars is flying. Like when, I don't know if you ever seen that movie, what is it, The Fifth Element? Yeah, check out the movie The Fifth Element. They show you these movies because it's gonna come to pass like that. So that's how long these buildings are gonna be around. So I'm real proud of what I did for, I stamped my blood in New York, blood, sweat, and tears. So real proud of that. But now to be a part of the trucking industry, the trucking industry is amazing because I don't know the percentage, but I know it's high. Trucks move United States. Trucks, they moving everything. Food, fuel, clothes, merchandise, building material, cars, trucks. It's pretty crazy, man. That now I'm a part of this, this circle of truckers. So, in life, you got to find your purpose. Find your purpose and let it work for you. This way you can feel like you put your stamp in this world, like you left something important in this world. You know, construction, I was known as D Block. Helped a lot of people, put people in the union. I've taught hundreds of guys, good guys, man. I love these guys. That's why I never wanted to leave construction. It's basically because of my guys. It's not so much the money. I've been getting money since a kid, man, since paid in full days. I've been blessed to be able to get money. It's not so much money. Yes, we needed to survive and all that stuff, man, but it was the camaraderie in construction, the people that, looked up to me, the people I looked up to, the people I had love for, the people that had love for me. That was a big deal, Big deal. Hard to leave construction because of that. Just because of that, basically. But now, I'm out here on the road. I get to get into myself. I get to learn about me more. Get to find out who I am. Because I was a big time servant, man. I felt like I was a servant of God. Like whatever I had to do to teach my people, to train my people, to bless my people, to look out for my people, I did as much as I possibly could. Much as I could to put my stamp in the world like that. The trucking, I'm servicing now United States. I'm moving merchandise all over the country to make sure people get their goods. And so are the other truckers. Again, food, cars, fuel. It's so much, man. As I drive around, there's so much in this industry that honestly, I don't even know all the trucking lanes. There's so many trucking lanes. Like, some trucks go by, I don't even know what they for. I had to actually do, what's this for? He was like, yeah, we move sand. I'm like, okay. Other dudes, they move hay. Other dudes move feed. The guy move feed, another dude move glue. I'm like, that's crazy. So, we out here making moves, man. We making it happen, man. And I'm a part of that, man. I did my thing here, 6A. Built New York, built Jersey, built Connecticut, built Germany. Now I'm out here, moving the crowd where I can. Moving the crowd, moving these loads, This right here, styrofoam. Insulation. It's gonna be very important to somebody. Very important. Look how much it is. And they have hundreds of thousands or more. This is just a fraction of what they need where I'm going, in Colorado. It's cold out there, so this is insulation to keep people's houses warm. So, man, and look my man over here. All right, he resting up. Car hauler. You know what I'm saying? Getting you your cars and stuff like that. That's just a small taste. How you gonna move these cars? Oh, how you gonna move them with fuel? So you got the fuel trucks. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing, man. It's amazing. How he had to get all of these cars up there, load them up, strap them up properly, make sure everything was done right. So yeah, man, and check me out. Getting much better. And this was a high load. I'm gonna keep it real with you, I figured it was easy. You see this strap right here? I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. This, as you can see, is overlapped, right? You gotta overlap it so the wind don't get underneath here. But since this is so high, I thought, yeah, cool, I don't have to tuck it. Hey, the wind got under here, and this came up like that boxer that had the toupee in the head. Well, that's when I looked through my rearview mirror. That was flapping up like my man's toupee. So, so I was so lucky to have to pull over, and man, I had to pull over 3 times. So the second time I had the strap put up, but the first time I had to take my ladder, Had to take my ladder. Hope I make it up there. I'm probably gonna get a taller ladder because of this situation. I had to climb up there. I got all the way up top, and I got bungees up there, so they're gonna be looking at me at this consignee. Like, what are you doing up there? You can't be up there. But I got to get those bungees. Or there's bungees in the middle that I was trying to hold. Didn't work. Second time, that's why I put the strap. So the strap is definitely holding it. We're gonna make it to Colorado. You know, you got to figure things out here. Then the third time I got bungees down here. Wasn't good enough. I had to put bungees up there. See these bungees right here? All of that, I had to get a ladder for all of these bungees. Because the bungees down here wasn't good enough. I had something to keep this. Went all the way to the back. I credit my time in construction, you know, for figuring that one out and being bold enough to climb on top. I ain't gonna front, I was a little ashamed. Because people will look, like when people were driving by on the highway, they was looking like, what is he doing up there? And how did he get up there? So, but I had to do it. I had to, you know, secure the load, or, you know, a top blow off and goes on somebody's windshield and they can't see. That could be a big problem. Then they crash and all that stuff. You know, we are held at a higher standard. So, you know, first time doing this. Moving forward, I'm going to put the strap up before I even take off outside. We strap inside, but this load is so tall and the overlap wasn't enough because, again, like, the wind was getting underneath and I had to take care of that. So I'm in a place where you know, keeps my mind active, keeps me busy. You know, drive in maybe later. I might do something else later. Once I, you know, conquer this right here, I might do something else. Yo, I'm free right now. You know what I mean? You know what it is to be free? Being able to do what you want. Yo, it's dope, man. No car payment, no. Well, I still got payment where I live, but it's just a good feeling, man. You know. Good wife, great family. Yo, I had to reflect, man. I just a quick story, but I had to reflect on the blessings, man. Blessings are amazing, man, and just having gratitude and appreciation in itself is amazing in itself, man. Always be grateful, man, for what you have, man. You know, always be grateful for what you have, especially if you have life. You can always turn whatever situation you got around. Always. Always. It's mind over matter. You know? Mind over matter. Yo, before I go, right? These channels. I've been forgetting these channels. Alright, I got another channel, right? It's D Block Construction. This way you can see kind of like, you know, me moving as a foreman, me moving as a worker. You know, how my lifestyle was, you know, building these buildings. I kind of pushed away from Instagram and Facebook, but I am on Instagram and Facebook if y'all want to see some history. It's Don Chichi on Instagram and Facebook. I haven't posted since July. You know, I just, you know, I ain't gonna front. I kind of got in my feelings a little bit. I'm like, damn, all these people are watching me, and I know there's a lot of people that I deal with and I help, and I rock with it, and I got love for. You know, they'll look, but then they, you know, they don't press like or, you know, love. I'm gonna say this again. If I mess with you, and if you my people, sometimes I ain't got time to look at everything you got. But if I see that as you, press and like. Actually, most of the time I'm pressing love. I got love. I got mad love in my heart. You know what I'm saying? Till you cross that. Once you cross that, then it's, it's pretty much, I'll forgive you, but it's like really, it ain't gonna be the same. Let's just say it like that. So I'm asking y'all for y'all to subscribe. I'm trying something new. I'm trying to keep up with the wave. I'm an older guy. Right now, the wave is social media. So I'm on 2 channels on YouTube. First channel is D Rover All Over. Second channel is D Block Construction. I'm on TikTok. TikTok is D Rover 074. I'm on Instagram, Don Cheche, DonCheche, one word, CHE, one word, and it's Don. Been a Don before the Dons, before Cheche and Fonz. Man, Jim, check me out, y'all. Show some support, man. I'm getting mad love from strangers, like people that don't even know me, that I did nothing for. They appreciate. They just showing the love. It feels better coming from the people that you know. It definitely feels better. A lot of people say that too. Yo, you ain't gonna. The people that you know, even family members, friends, they not gonna support you like strangers. Nah, man, change that wave, man. Change that wave, man. Not only just for me, for whatever person, whatever you dealing with life, change that wave, man. Support your people, man. Don't support them when they dead and gone. Oh, y'all can check that out too. I think I was doing it on Instagram and Facebook. I was doing something called Friday Flowers. So I was just picking random people that was in the construction business and giving them their flowers while they was alive. I didn't want to wait till I'm seeing them in the casket or in the grave. I did that, I lost, I took major losses in my life. I lost a child. So with that hitting me, then what really was the icing on the cake is when DMX passed away, and everybody's showing him all his love now. Everybody giving him his flowers now. And that hit a switch in me. My son DMX, I said, yo, let me create something where I tell people how much I love them while they're here. So I created something called Friday Flowers, and I would just pick a random person and I would say something nice about our history or whatever we did together, and tell them at the end of whatever I write, I love you, Friday Flowers. You know what I'm saying? So did that for about 2-3 years. So yeah, y'all can check that out on Instagram and Facebook, Don Cheche. D-O-N, Don alone, then the Cheche together, C-H-E. Check that out, man. A couple of pictures of me traveling and everything. Again, I'm gonna push and, do this social media game. If it ain't for me, I'll step away, whatever. But I don't do this to brag or boast. I do this to uplift and show the younger generation or the older generation, yo, it's never too late. You can do whatever you want in this life. Whatever you put your mind to, whatever you put your heart to, you could do it. You know what I'm saying? Dirtbag from the Bronx. Had a prominent life and still going. I don't know what I'm gonna do next. Might do this for a long time, might do something else. The fact of the matter is, I can do whatever I want. And there's some brilliant people out here that, I'm telling you, there's some brilliant people out here, man, that's just getting rich. They getting millions just for their brain power, man. I admire them, for real, man. You know what I mean? I'm just so used to working with my hands. It's hard to, when they say it's hard to break old ways. But I'm making an effort. I'm trying. I'm not the best with this social media stuff, how to, do all of this fancy stuff and edit and all that stuff. I can't do all of that. You know what I'm saying? But what I can do is I could do this right here. I could do this. You know what I'm saying? I can I could tear down your building and make sure it's organized after I rip it apart. I could do that. I could do a superstructure for you. I know the concept of that. I could teach a class for you. You know what I'm saying? Just from knowledge. I can make sure you safe in what you doing, making sure you don't get hurt. How many lives I saved? But that brilliance that you young men and women have, yo man, kudos man. And yo, and yo, no hate should come their way. You know what I'm saying? You could do what they do too. Have no hate. That's why I just been blessed my entire life. Every mistake I made was my decision. So I'm gonna end this right here. Just support the kid, man. If you want, even if you, like I said, you know, just like press subscribe. Damn, it ain't hard, yo. All right, it ain't hard to tell. I excel, did prevail. The mic is constant. I attract clientele. I'm trying to attract clientele, man. Come on, man. Let's do it. D-Rover all over. I'm out.